Gretna Green sits right on the border with England, a factor that made it an essential stop for eloping couples from the mid-18th century onwards, when Scotland's marriage laws were far more liberal. Gretna town itself, though, is a more recent creation, developed as a garden town to house workers at the enormous munitions factory built during World War I. Thousands of couples still descend on Gretna and Gretna Green to get married. Other visitors are tempted by the shopping, and a few are here for the football. My name is Jonathan Wheeler. I'm a filmmaker based in the gorgeous county of Dumfries and Galloway. But for many years before that, I was a solicitor in England. And during that time, I had a few brushes with football, whether advising the chief executive of Leicester City or once serving a High Court winding up petition on Notts County. And as a lifelong Leicester City supporter, I know that football can bring its share of highs and lows. But recently I've become quite disillusioned with the way that money is corrupting football at the top level. I've become far more interested in football at the bottom of the pyramid. And this season I'm going to be following Gretna FC 2008 in Scotland's Lowland League, a club that has also had its share of highs and lows. If you've seen the football documentary Welcome to Wrexham, well, this will be similar. Okay, apart from the fact that there's no Hollywood millionaire and there's no Netflix budget. In fact, there is no budget at all. There may be no money, but there will be plenty of heart, hard graft and true community spirit. If you step 1 foot over the southern boundary of Gretna, then you'll find yourself in England. Cumbria, to be precise. So with some justification, Gretna can call itself the first and last senior club in Scotland. Unfortunately though, in recent years, the emphasis is more on the last. Let me explain. Scottish senior football has 5 tiers. The top 4 are part of the SPFL, the Scottish Professional Football League. At the summit sits the Scottish Premiership, a league where 2 teams from Glasgow play 10 other teams to decide which of them should be crowned champions. Next comes the Championship, League 1 and League 2. Tier 5 is split geographically between a Highland League and a Lowland League. Each year, one team from Tier 5 has the chance for promotion to the professional leagues. Last season, Gretna had what one might describe as a bit of a nightmare, winning just 3 games and finishing 20 points behind the next team. Normally, of course, that would mean certain relegation, but fortunately, one team was even worse. In a winner-takes-all final match, Gretna beat Edinburgh University and avoided the dreaded drop into the junior leagues. Change was definitely needed. In steps former Gretna player and local businessman Nicky White.
It was one of the original 2008 teams when the club reformed. Played for 3 or 4 seasons before going to Dalbeattie for a year, and then I came back as a player coach, and then I was a coach for a few seasons, and then I left to be manager at Loch Thistle. Towards Christmas last year, I came back initially to help set up the under-20s team. Obviously started making inroads in that, and then before you know it, you get roped into doing more and more and more, and you're then on the board helping the committee and things like that, and then all of a sudden you've got the title of director of football, which I don't particularly like, but obviously that's what Ian's tagged us with now, so we'll stick with that. A struggle. Obviously, with the way things happened the season before that, we were left with really nothing. Obviously, Brian came in with not a player. Obviously, put a squad together as it got better throughout the season. I believe there was a lot of talent there. It was just probably a little bit young and a little bit naive at the time. We had some good one-off performances, and then obviously just done enough at the end of the season to stay up in the end, which was in itself a massive achievement. just to basically get back to roots and, you know, get the community back involved. I feel over the last 5 or 6 years the club's been going in one direction, and my view is to come back, you know, try and get the best local talent that we can, and then obviously from there it was a case of, you know, try to find the new manager, who was luckily already in the door. So whenever we've had successful teams at Gretna, whenever I've been involved, it's always been a mixture of Dumfries and local boys, and then the best that Carlisle have got. And I think that was the plan. So that's what we've tried to do. I don't even think it's just for Gretna, I think it's for the region as a whole, because now obviously with Dalbeattie dropping the year before, Threave have went a different route. I just believe that obviously we are now the only club in the area, so any young, you know, aspiring footballer, you know, if they're not making it at Queen's or Annan, they're playing South of Scotland football. So we are hopefully the option, and so long, you know, long may it last.
The new manager tasked with changing Gretna's fortunes this season is Vinnie Parker, who finished last season in goal.
Well, it's my first stint as manager, obviously, but I've had 3 stints here. So when I first came to Gretna, it was under Rowan Alexander, and it was called the Skill Seekers at the time. So we were full time here, but we done the boots, we packed the kit, we trained full time. So I was lucky enough to be involved with the first team. At the time we were in the Unibond League. I managed to make a few first team appearances there when I was 16, 17, and I loved it. I loved that environment. I loved being full time. Then we were fortunate enough to go into the 3rd division at the time in Scotland, and I was there for a season as well before I moved on to Albion Rovers. My second stint came when it was Gretna 2008, obviously after the kind of high profile demise of Gretna. I came back and it was Stuart Romey. It was a manager at the time, and lads, we've got 15 minutes before kick-off. I played the first ever Lowland League game, so I did for Threave at the time. So I've been in the Lowland a long time now. At one point I think I held the record for most appearances, and like I said to you earlier, probably hold the record for conceding the most goals in that league as well. But it was a good stint with a really good side at that time, and we competed in the Lowland. Then obviously I've came back again at Christmas, and I really enjoyed that. It was a battle, but I came to try and help keep the club up, and I felt I massively played a big part in that. I had some really good performances, especially the last game of the season when it was against Edinburgh Uni, and we needed to win, and I had a really good game that day. So I thought I'd done alright for being a 39-year-old goalkeeper who was a legend retired. But 3 stints I've had at Redhill. I work for Scottish Water, so I work in development operations. So I work for New Connections, so like for people, especially businesses and big building organisations who want to apply and connect to the Scottish Water network. They'll work with me and they'll deal with me. So it's a job I love. And last season we survived by the skin of our teeth. There's no denying it. But we had some really good performances, and there was a lot of games where we could have got a win or could have got a draw. So it's fine margins in that league. So we need to see progression this season, and I think the people that come and watch us and the people who have obviously employed me, they need to see progression as well. So pre-season's been good, training's been really good so far, but the proof will be in the pudding come the start of the season.
It's not even July, but pre-season has started.
I thought we were exceptional. I thought the leaders in the group stood up really well. Even before the game I was asking us to be playing the game at a high tempo, didn't want the game to stop, but they judged that themselves on the park and realised we might have to slow it down every now and again, and I thought they'd done that really well.
Yeah, we were really pleased. Obviously today we've got 8 new players in, so it was about getting a bit of familiarity and a bit of relationship between the guys. I thought we controlled a good chunk of the game. I thought probably on another day we'd have liked to maybe score 2 or 3. We had another couple of chances.
So a 2-0 victory. Now St Kellock's might be a tier below, but when they were here last October in a cup match, they won 6-1. So I think that's progress. If you're not familiar with the Gretna story, then if I was to say that Gretna FC once graced the Scottish top flight, almost won the Scottish Cup final, and made it to the UEFA Cup, then you'd think I was mad. Well, it's true. The crazy years started when a millionaire businessman and philanthropist called Brooks Mileson suddenly appeared at Raydale Park.
Aye, no, like I remember at the time, obviously, like I spoke about before, we were full time, and at that period, like we were painting walls and stuff like that. Then there used to be a stand behind this goal, and all of a sudden there was an Aston Martin appeared one day, and there was a kind of slightly dishevelled fellow sitting in the bar with Rowan, who was the manager at the time, and he was introduced as Brooks Mileston, and before we knew it, the stand was sponsored by Crest Sportswear. Our kit was Crest, and that's how it kind of started. Youth were sponsored by Crest at the time, and I believe at the time he was trying to take over Caledonian United, and for one reason or another it didn't work out, and like Sir Rowan and that managed to bring him on board here, and listen, it was exciting at the time. Obviously it never ended very well, but you certainly noticed when there's an Aston Martin sitting at the car park at Gretna Football Club. So no, I remember it really well when he first came in, and obviously it just grew and grew and grew from there. And obviously this is what this club will be remembered for a long time. It's part of its history. Obviously we're a new club now, but if you ask anybody all over the world, probably they'll always reminisce it was the Brooks Mileston days, and they got us to the Premier League and stuff like that. So no, but I remember at the very start when he first came on board, yeah.
3 successive promotions took Gretna to the Premiership in 2007. During their first top flight season, it was bad enough that they had to play their home matches in Motherwell, but then their benefactor fell seriously ill and later died. Within a few months, the club was liquidated. The dream was well and truly over, and the future looked bleak. Determined to keep football in the town, the Gretna Supporters Society founded a new club, Gretna FC 2008, on the 2nd of July 2008. A junior club at first, it then became a founder member of the Lowland League in 2013. The ground is now owned by the Raydale Partnership, a community group. Just 8 miles separate the historic town of Annan from its much younger neighbour Gretna. In footballing terms, the towns have gone in opposite directions. Annan Athletic took the SPFL place left by Gretna FC's demise, and last year survived their first ever season in Tier 3 or League 1. A really impressive achievement that they'll certainly be looking to build on this season. Now, pre-season in Scotland can be really tough. It's the beginning of July, and at midday today the thermometer tipped 15 degrees centigrade. Thankfully tonight kick-off is at 8 o'clock, so the temperature has cooled down a little. Get ready for the big South East Dumfries and Galloway Derby Day. Well, in the end, a very even game apart from the quality of the finishing. But hey, Annan Athletic were playing the likes of Hamilton Accies and Falkirk last season, so it's no disgrace. And a crowd of 372. Not bad on a balmy evening in Gretna. Coming up in episode 2, there's a trip to deepest Galloway, Scotland's summer deteriorates even further, and it's the start of the Lowland League season. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and click for notifications, and come on a Scottish footballing journey. The final warm-up match takes Gretna due west along the beautiful Galloway coast. Here you'll find a football ground in the shadow of historic Castle Carey on the shore of Wigton Bay. It's the home of Gretna FC, or as they were known in 1905, Cretan Rifle Volunteers Football Club. Last time out, Cretan had a very successful season, finishing second in the South of Scotland League, so technically only 3 places below Gretna. This, the final pre-season game, is definitely going to be a tough test.
Nobody knows, but all the guilt and shame. It's true, I suppose I'm not alone in this game. If there's abuse, there is pain, and nowhere else to escape but physically run away with a heart that's bleeding rain. It's bleeding rain, it's bleeding rain. Can't you know it's bleeding? It's bleeding rain. Can't you know it's bleeding, bleeding rain? It's bleeding rain, it's bleeding rain. Can't you know it's bleeding?
Well, they do say you can't read anything into pre-season results.
It's very, very competitive. Every team that you see that's been promoted out of it have stepped up. Your Kelties, your Bonnyriggs, you know, Spartans, they're all doing really, really well. So, me personally, I think the top of the Lowland League is probably stronger than the League Two, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt, every single year it's got stronger and stronger and stronger. Now what you're seeing is the teams that are coming out, that are getting relegated, they're being replaced by teams like, for example, Broxburn this season. Teams have got a lot of ambition, who just look to keep driving up the leagues. We've seen what happened previously with like your Kelties and Edinburgh City. The teams have got a lot of ambition. What you're seeing is a lot of people dropping out of the pro game into the Lowland League who are really good players who could easily play full time, but they're probably picking up decent money now, and if they've got decent careers and decent jobs, they've got to be far out earning what they would be in like League 1 and League 2. So it's an attractive league to come and play in. You're playing in decent grounds, you're playing in front of decent crowds as well, and the standard of football is really good. In my opinion, it's probably one of the most exciting leagues in the country at the minute.
Teams who can spend the most money will win it, because it's like anything, you'll sign the best players. People will disagree with me, but I've seen the Lowland League now for the whole time, and the teams that have went up, they've had, apart from Edinburgh City when they first went up, the first team to go up, the other teams have all had better players than everyone else. Bonnyrigg, Kelty, teams like that. East Kilbride have got an excellent squad, so I'd expect them to be up there. But yeah, the Lowland League for me, it's getting harder every year. You've got the teams coming up from the east, you've got the west of Scotland teams. The Lowland League might have been lucky in a sense that there's no west teams really, because Beath have won the league the last 2 years and they've not got their licence. So I think it was when Linlithgow Rose came up, they basically didn't have to play anyone to come up, and then Broxburn only had to beat Dalbeattie last year, whereas if you throw in like you have to beat like a Clydebank or a Pollock or an Auchinleck or a Darvel or a Beath, it makes it a much tougher game, do you know what I mean, to try and get promoted.
4 Lowland teams have been promoted recently through the Pyramid Playoff, and all of them have comfortably survived in the SPFL. By contrast, the 4 historic teams that have been relegated have found the Lowland League very challenging. There's both money and ambition in this league, quite a challenge for a new manager.
it's a small footballing community, even it stretches as far as Carlisle, and I'm reaping the rewards of that, probably just still being in the game as well, so you've still got plenty of connections. I think this job would have been probably 100 times harder if I'd left the game and retired and tried to come back a couple of years later. So I've kept myself a wee bit fresh and current, so I've kept tabs on the youngins. So basically, so we've managed to keep maybe 5 or 6, possibly 7 for last season, and add the lads in who we really thought would improve. I love Ange at Spurs. I think he talks brilliantly, he's so enthusiastic. I think his man management skills will be out of this world. I could listen to him all day, so he's a standout for me.
Based on the last 2 seasons, the armchair pundits have of course already made up their minds about Gretna's fortunes. But they're not taking into account a new manager, a new assistant manager, a new captain, and not forgetting...
C'est on. Vice captain.
I used to come and watch Gretna with my 2 boys, and I used to bring the camera, and it just kind of spiraled from there. And now I'm like, I do photography, I help Ian with the media, I help Ian with the programme, I do some hospitality, I wash the kit. I used to clean the changing rooms, but thankfully Stacey's took that off me. Ladies club secretary, youth secretary. I've got a few titles to many.
What's your feeling about this coming season? Good feeling?
Oh yeah, they're good. It's positive. Yeah, I think it's really positive. I'm looking forward to this season.
Get it! You're in! Dan, you're away! Yep, I think we're ready. The guys, we've got feedback for the guys, they feel like they're ready. We're putting a wee bit of detail in tonight, just having watched a few clips that I'll be in over, so we'll just try to do a bit of detail for Saturday. But if they're not ready now, they're never going to be ready. Everyone's desperate for the season to start. I think at every club, everybody I've spoke to, other clubs are just desperate to get going now. So one last bit of preparation tonight, and then that's us good to go.
Yes!
It's finally time to get serious. The first league match of the season. Unfortunately, I'm miles away in Brighton, but with the Gretna app, I can follow the game from the beach. So a decent performance, but Albion Rovers win it with a fantastic free kick in the first half and then 2 late goals. Time to leave the beach behind and travel north to Stirling, where the Highlands meet the Lowlands, and where the university's high performance programme consistently produces a very strong first 11, despite the financial constraints of student football.
We don't have the funds to go out and pay players. We don't pay players, so we miss out on that because there's players that's still in university, for instance, who play with other teams in the Lowland League, and we can't get them because we don't pay. So, but that's fine. We're used to it. And just like we lose players because of graduations, etc. Other teams lose players because they go to other teams. So no team's different to us. Do you know what I mean? It's just every team loses players. So that's kind of how it works. Our job at Stirling is to make them better, give them a good experience at the university, and also while they're playing in a really good league, like a competitive league. It's Tier 5, one below the pros. For the programme, in terms of publicity and all that sort of stuff, players playing pros always better because boys want to play professional football. But for me, it doesn't really matter. But it's still a good thing when they do get to that level if they're good enough.
What a place to play football, on the banks of the River Forth in the shadow of the Wallace Monument. All we need now is a good game.
Tell me, what was that?
Do you know what? I think a little bit of it was a bit of a reward for the first game. I think against Albion Rovers we were probably better than 3-0 suggested, and we said to the boys, you'll get nothing for free in this league, it's tough. Okay. So I think the effort against Albion Rovers and then the effort again today, I think we deserved to hold on. I know we rode our luck a wee bit at the end, but you know, the subs went on. Stuart Douglas makes a magnificent sort of block at the end, and it just shows that you need to have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 boys. It's not about having 11 on the park. So just delighted, because that first game was sore because it was never a 3-0 game and it really hurt. So delighted we got that today, delighted to get a clean sheet, and it makes that 2-hour bus ride or whatever it was up here all worthwhile, because that bus ride home if you get beat is not pretty. So delighted.
After seeing Gretna today, there's no easy games. They've just beat us. Do you know what I mean? We beat the team who were third in the league last year. Gretna beat us, so it's going to be tight. Do you know what I mean? It's whoever can take their chances when they come, and we didn't. We were. I'm not going to say unlucky, because we didn't deserve a win, but we had chances at the end and we didn't take them.
Coming up in the next episode, Gretna look to make it 2 away wins from 2 against Cumbernauld, and it's the league debut for Gretna ladies. For the second away game in the space of 4 days, the squad is heading north, this time to Cumbernauld, the famous new town of the 1960s, that now has a population of over 50,000, so the impressive Broadwood Stadium should be absolutely rocking, if it wasn't for the depressing stranglehold that Rangers and Celtic have on the Central Belt. So people of Cumbernauld, you have a competitive team in a fantastic stadium. Come and support them.
Obviously they've came off a great win against East Kilbride on Saturday. Obviously we're the same, you know, away from home, good 3 points. It'll be tough, it's a big park, but listen, I'm sure the boys have, you know, got a big lift, and you know, we'll just give it a go.
just put this result into context. Before last Saturday, Gretna had not won an away match in the league since October 2022. They've just won 2 difficult away league games in the space of 4 days, and with 2 clean sheets. The underdogs are fighting back. Back in Gretna, it's a sunny but windy Saturday afternoon by the border, and today's visitors are Linlithgow Rose. Now, they really enjoyed their trip here last season. I don't even want to say what the result was. Now, Vinnie has had to shuffle the pack a little due to an outbreak of wedding fever. But even so, surely this year will be a very different match.
And your Gretna team today, in goal, number 1, Graham Wright. Number 2, Alex Potts. Number 3, Hayden Tate. Number 4, Jack Dickinson. Number 5, Sam Atkinson. Number 6, Jordan Woodham Holt. Number 7, Robbie Iverson. Number 8, Andy Owen.
Club chaplain on a quick visit in between weddings.
That's true, Jonathan, yes. Done 2 earlier on and got 1 more left to do this afternoon. That's typically the case on a Saturday. It does tend to be one of the busier days for the weddings, so it is, yeah, popping in and out as and when I can, yeah. We're struggling today. Well, not struggling, I think we've been playing okay, but just hopefully we can start to pull our way back into it. Start of this second half as the lads are coming out here.
We've gave away easy goals. We've talked continually to the boys about how in this league you need to make sure you're making teams work hard to score goals, and unfortunately we gave easy goals away, and then it gives you a mountain to climb, and sometimes you get up the mountain, but today we just couldn't get up the mountain. The key is getting the first goal. The first goal is everything at any level of football. If you get the first goal, you've got something to hang on to, and we didn't do that today, and we gave them a really easy one, which is a shame. I think the thing that's hurting the guys in the dressing room is we haven't put on a performance and got a win at home yet. I think that's, you know, family and friends are here and all the volunteers are here at the home games. We want to give them something, because obviously the volunteers can't all get to away games, which is understandable, but we just want to do something, a good performance here, so it feels like everybody in the club's getting that buzz, so that's where we're at.
Gretna was built on girl power. The town was founded to service the enormous munitions factory built along the Solway coast in the First World War. With millions of men out on the front line, the call went out for female workers, a revolutionary idea at that time. 12,000 women worked on mixing the explosive, a mixture that Arthur Conan Doyle termed the Devil's Porridge. It was dangerous work, but vital to the war effort. The story is told at the excellent Devil's Porridge Museum in Eastriggs. Gretna's men's team was founded in 1946. 78 years later, the ladies have arrived.
Tell me about the challenges of starting a team from scratch.
Oh, big problems with like the likes of you've got to find the players, find the coaches, get everything put in place, and then you've got to get money behind you, you've got to get sponsors, and then league starts on the 11th of August, the Scottish Women's Football League. We were in the South League, and we're also in the Scottish Cup. We got drawn against Bishopton at home, so that's going to be a real adventure, and I'm looking forward to that.
So a few months ago there was literally no players, then 5 of us decided we should approach Gretna to see if we could get a team set up there. They were brilliant with us and it helped us and like got out advertising, and then we've already made it here, so I feel like that's an achievement, and we're getting new lasses coming every other week now.
How exciting is it to start a brand new team?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant for the actual football league to just have more local teams, and we're not having to travel as far. Like Glasgow, that's been took out of our league now, so Ayre's like a bit furthest we'd get it. New players coming like every other week now. We see a new face at training, which is obviously what we wanted to do and build to there.
And you're back at Annan. You're all ground.
I think it's going to be a hard game for us. Obviously, like they've got the experience and stuff like that, but we can only get out and enjoy it. When I first started at Annan, I think we went 2 seasons like never won in a game, and that first one like was massive for us. So we just need to get past this season and keep building.
It's all about enjoyment, isn't it?
Oh, definitely is. It's to do with your mental health too. Like getting a group of lasses in together and being able to like bond with each other and stuff. It's brilliant.
The Gretna ladies football team is long overdue. Now let the adventure begin.
How did it feel to score the first goal?
Yeah, really good. It felt fantastic. We're just a new club, so it was good to get the first game under the way. Hopefully we'll progress and learn as a team and work on our weaknesses and our strengths, and hopefully it'll take us far.
Congratulations on the goal.
Thank you very much.
I think we started off really well. We linked up very well. Really unlucky to concede the first goal, and then we just kind of lost our way. But we came back in spells throughout the full game, and it's just trying to build on that and move that forward, try and get it through the full 90.
And it's not just a new team, some of these players are new to football.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of players that are just new to football. There was 4 or 5 that have actually not played football we're playing today, and it's great to see them come in and getting involved in the sport. I can't fault them at all, they're absolutely brilliant.
Remember that Gretna Devil's porridge takes careful, patient preparation. But when the right ingredients come together, the re-emergence of Gretna as a footballing power is not only being talked about here in the local area, but news has also spread as far as the Mediterranean. And if you don't believe me, then watch this. Volvemos a Escocia con el Gretna 2008, el equipo de la frontera. Oportunidad y golazo, golazo de Dan Ursi. Primer gol de la temporada, vamos a ver otra vez. Sí, 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 Ursi. Oh, falla del portero y gol, 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 gol de Ando y Hernández miró. Mira, 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 qué golazo de Ando. De nuevo ataca el Gretna con el Robbie Iversen y puede ser gol, sí, sí, el portero lo ha perdido. Anulado. Otra ocasión de gol de Gretna y Olti, sí, no, dice que es fuera de juego, vamos a ver, no, para mí no es fuera de juego. Lateral buscando el delantero y mira, gol, vuele como un águila, mira el Dino. Dale de mano para mí y falta también, sí, pita penalti para el Gretna. A ver, y gol, el primer gol del Gretna femenino, gol de Recuerda, sin Gretna no hay fiesta. Back on the Costa del Solway, let's talk programmes. To the annoyance of many football fans, a lot of professional clubs have given up printed programmes in favour of digital versions, but not here at Gretna.
It comes really from an annual general meeting of the Gretna Supporters Society a few years ago, when one of the sort of main supporter requests was, well, we don't necessarily know who the players are, we don't know what's going on. And when Gretna 2008 started, there was a great magazine produced at the time called the Raydale Review, and so we just thought, well, let's do another one at the beginning of the season to tell everyone what was happening. And then from there that sold out, and then I think we had like Celtic B like today come, and that one sold out, so we actually thought, well, actually we'll do one for the odd game, the big games. Last season we did one more or less every game, and this season we're going to do one every game, and they're selling out completely. They're going to the United States, they're going to Croatia, they're going to Australia. We're very, very lucky because I found an organisation called Curtis Sports, and they do the print and the design for us, which is just as well, because Claire and I send in a random set of information and they turn it into this wonderful publication that you can see before you.
The fan base here wants that printed version to take home with them.
Absolutely, and we've just about sold out today. We've got 100 programmes printed for the ladies' game tomorrow. They're just about sold out already, and the game hasn't even taken place yet.
Gretna's next 2 home games are against the B teams of Celtic and Hearts, which allows me to discuss one of the Lowland League's most controversial topics. Should they even be in the league? Now, in Spain, B teams have been part of the professional football pyramid for years, but that's not the case in England or in Scotland, except the Lowland League. Last year, the clubs narrowly voted to allow Hearts and Celtic to keep their B teams in the league for at least another 2 years. But there were strong arguments for and against. Clubs like Albion Rovers argued strongly that it was against the whole ethos of the football pyramid system. They would rather see the likes of Darvel, Dalbeattie, Clydebank or Beath taking up those spaces. But this is also a league where money is short and every pound counts. And both Celtic and Hearts pay into the league to allow them to compete. The consensus in Gretna is that the fans enjoy some Premiership glamour and the players get to pit themselves against the best academy squads in Scotland.
I mean, unless you're actually playing in there, it's hard to understand how hard it is. I mean, like mentally exhausting when people running off your shoulders and you try to get back into shape. Not just physically, it's mentally exhausting, and you've got to give them massive credit for that. But I feel we've got the right characters in the changing room. That was a big part of our planning during pre-season, to get people who were resilient, like you say, who demand off others, to keep people going, and that's reflective in our training as well. If you've came down and watched us before, it's loud at training. Again, there's a lot of enthusiasm. It's people barking at each other. It's people keeping each other going, geeing people up, and I think that's down to a bit of mentality within the changing room. It's a good culture. I mean, the boys have created that, and you've seen that today. And to push a team like Celtic onto 92 minutes, try to score a goal, let's be honest, it's quite remarkable. I mean, I think everybody expects you to be sitting in and getting beat by 4 or 5 goals, but that's not the case here. We're looking to try and beat teams like Celtic.
So what are you going to buy, Jim, tonight? Bottle of champagne, pint?
Sounding a bit like Roy Keane here. Is that not his job at the end of the day?
Man of the match, Jim Mackey. I think everyone already gets that one.
Luckily, Roy Keane wasn't picking man of the match. And to be fair to Jim, it's the Lowland League. Not exactly Premiership wages. 24 hours later, it's the turn of Gretna ladies in their first ever Scottish Cup match, and only their second competitive game in history. There's good news and bad news. The good, well, they're at home. The bad, it's a very tough draw. Bishopton from Renfrewshire, a strong side who won a League and Cup double only 3 years ago. It's going to be a very tough afternoon for Gretna's young and inexperienced side. Think maybe Spain's first team against San Marino. Reserves. That gives you an idea of the size of today's task.
game, Jordan, but positives from the game.
Well, loads of positives. When you coming into this game, it was going to be so hard because they've signed players that have played at a higher level and stuff, and they're building, like, their aim this season is to get promoted. They've won everything before, so we knew it was going to be a hard game. We didn't have a few players like due to injury and stuff, so we only had 11 of us out there. But I felt we tried our best to like slow the game down and try and get it to our pace, and that was just our aim. And I felt we did that well.
Everyone came off smiling though, so that's good.
Oh, considering like if we'd played like that against Bishops in there than what we did last week against Arnon, the scoreline would have been different. Everybody today played as a team and played for each other, and we knew what we had to just to try and keep that scoreline down.
Scotland's crazy summer continues. It's August the 21st, but it feels like November the 21st. Tonight, Gretna are playing both Hearts B and the remnants of Hurricane Ernesto.
I'm Deborah and we're here tonight collecting for the Great North Air Ambulance.
To Vinnie a couple of weeks ago, I've got an episode title that I really want to use in the style of Friends, the one where Gretna score 5, and I thought I was going to be able to use it tonight. Never mind. Talk to me about that.
Obviously, like it was excellent. It was excellent. I think everybody around the club kind of sensed that something like that was maybe going to come. We were going to have a night or a day where it clicked in front of goal. You know, I think we've maybe missed a few chances and been a bit unfortunate in some of the games, even the games we've lost. You know, could we maybe have got a draw because we maybe missed a few chances, and tonight it clicked. I thought maybe 6-1's a bit harsh on Hearts because I thought they'd done a lot in the game. I thought they were good, I thought they moved the ball well, I thought they created us some problems, but on the break we just looked absolutely devastating. And that, I think, particularly for Ian Anderson, I think Ian Anderson's done an absolute power of work for us. He's put his body on the line, he's run his legs off every single game, and you just want that night where everything he hits goes in, and that happened tonight. You know, he was brilliant, but to a man they were absolutely class. And I'm delighted because I said a few weeks ago we wanted something for the home fans and the volunteers, and the women's team are here volunteering tonight, and there's a load of the kids up in the stand. That's what it's about, because if it's an away game and we do that, loads of folk don't see that. So it's just great for the club, great for everybody involved, and the boys deserve it because their attitude has been absolutely on point for the minute we've came in the door. So delighted. I think the result at Stirling, the result at Cumbernauld sort of sent out a bit of a warning that we're competitive. We've got a really competitive group of boys, like they really care and they're really competitive. Nobody's going to find us a soft touch in this league, I think that's pretty safe to say. And if we get it right in that end bit, the final third like we did tonight, I'm going to make a prediction, it won't be the last result like that.
Since the 6-1 demolition of Hearts, Gretna's fortunes have gone slightly backwards, with injuries and availability issues contributing to back-to-back defeats to Broxburn and Bowness. The team is steaming into the Central Belt today, hoping to get back on track against the Caledonian Braves. But that's enough of the terrible puns. The big question is, who are Caledonian Braves? You'll find the Braves at Alliance Park, aside the Strathclyde Country Park between Hamilton and Motherwell. They are the youngest senior side in the country. Founded in 2011 as Edgy Sport Academy, a team for French students, the team morphed into the Caledonian Braves in 2019 and has a unique global ownership structure, similar to crowdfunding. I caught up with Braves founder Chris Ewing to ask whether he expected such rapid progress from student team to knocking on the doors of the SPFL.
Yes. No, I'd be lying if I said yes, but no, you're talking about Edgy Sport Academy, obviously that's come back a good few years. That was in 2011 I set that up. It's like another life when you look at what we're doing at the moment with Caledonian Braves. But I think if you're in any kind of sport, you want to be ambitious, you want to try and achieve everything you can, push boundaries. And after a couple of years of Edgy Sport playing friendly games against the professional clubs, I understood it was a real lack of competitive games for the guys, and that's when you have a choice to make. Do you go under 18s, under 21s, amateurs, juniors? And I said, well, if we're going to set up a real football team as opposed to an academy, let's try and get into the pyramid. And I remember Ricky and I came down to, I think it was Biggar or Cashel Douglas or something, down in the deepest, darkest south of Scotland to pitch the idea to the gentlemen at the South of Scotland League. And they admitted us into the league, and that was a kind of game changer, if you like, because we went from being a private football academy to having an opportunity to be a football club. We then went and won the league, got promoted into the Lowland League, became the first club to go from Tier 6 to Tier 5, and that's when we really started thinking about a real transition and saying, okay, let's try and separate the academy from the club, and that's gave birth essentially to Caledonian Braves today as we know them. I think 35 countries represented in the ownership group, but I think when you say global, the majority of the owners come from America. I think 95% of the 5,000 are actually Americans, some who have Scottish blood heritage, some who just been to Scotland and visited and love it, and some who are just football fans that like the idea of owning a football club in Scotland. We actually have some owners from America coming today who work in the NBA, so it's very exciting, and that's probably what if I was to say I could be proud of anything, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we're able to not only showcase the club but showcase the best of Scotland. Have the owners come to visit, they travel. In fact, one of the owners was just down here last week, Chris Butler, went to see Gretna. And all of that's great, and it's about making, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but it's about making friends, it's about people coming here and having a good time. Obviously we want Caledonian Braves to win games of football and do as well as we can, but beyond the performance on the pitch, it's about really creating a community, something of value, something of worth, and at the heart of that's people, you know.
Injured himself late on in the Hearts game, so we decided to send him for a scan, and the scans came back not with great news. So he's got grade 2 tears in his ACL and MCL in his knee. If it's rehab, it'll probably look 5 or 6 months. If it's an operation, then obviously we're at the mercy of NHS waiting times and rehab after that. So we've brought in Robbie Hogg, which obviously will be a bonus. Probably won't be a direct replacement for Ian, however that search probably will go on. We're obviously always looking at the market. Robbie he's a local boy, he's from Annan, he actually lives in Dumfries now. I've known Robbie since he was 17-18 year old. I actually had him on loan from Queen of the South when I was at Lorca, and then actually signed him permanently after that. And as I say, he's been around the houses, you know, but now the last couple of years he's settled at Lorca. Been playing really well, probably the outstanding player in the South League. Probably deserves his chance now, and fingers crossed he takes it.
Now, it's not that often that the third choice keeper gets to start a game, but today he does. And Gretna's third choice keeper is manager Vinnie Parker. Kevin, a point in adversity.
Yeah, absolutely. What looked like at maybe the first 10-15 minutes of the game, it might have been a sort of two teams cancelling each other. It might have been a sort of undramatic day. The story goes that Kieran, the young goalie, gets a phone call last night. This morning on the way to the bus, somebody crashed into his car, so we didn't know if he was going to get on the bus in time. He then gets on the bus and expects not to play, and then the manager, who is the third choice keeper, then gets sent off, and then Kieran gets thrust into the game and saves a penalty to make sure we get a point. So I think I just said to the guys in there, you know, if you forget why you play football, it's for moments like that for Kieran, you know, just a young lad who's been thrust in there, and he's been the hero, so he's had a great day, and we're all delighted to get a point. So it's a tough place to come. They're second in the league, and we just absolutely ground it out and showed brilliant battling qualities.
So an important point for both sides, taking the Braves to the very top of the table and lifting Gretna 8 points away from the foot of the table. Now it's time to see what's happening further north. Today I'm in the far north. Welcome to Wick, in the historic county of Caithness. This is a port that made its money through herring fishing, but those times are long gone. These days, one of the main sources of employment is offshore energy. But there is still one product that is made here and sold around the world. That is the award-winning Old Pulteney malt whisky, known as the Maritime Malt, and very tasty it is too. But why am I here? Well, this afternoon, Wick Academy play host to the fallen giants Brechin City. in a Highland League showdown. If Gretna and Wick Academy were ever to draw each other in the cup, then one of the sides would literally have to journey from one end of the country to the other. Now, I lived for a short time in Caithness, so I know all about its magic. The vast skies, the towering cliffs, the roaring surf on its empty beaches, and the dramatic castles from times past. It's a long way from anywhere, and very few people live here, so it's quite the challenge for a football manager. Being the manager of Wick Academy must rank as one of the hardest jobs in Scottish senior football. Meet Gary Manson, a man who has devoted so much time and energy over the years to Wick Academy that he once said in an article that a psychologist would describe him as clinically insane.
So yeah, I've been here since a young boy and I'm still here now, so yeah, whether you can call that commitment or insanity, it's up to you to decide. But
I think it's because of the challenge. Talk to me about the challenge of maintaining a senior side up here in Caithness.
Yeah, it's very much like being a national team manager. You can't go out and identify players that you want to go and sign specifically for different areas and then go and buy them, or scout other players that you want to sign. It's like I say, you're either taking the youth up through your own youth ranks or going out to the amateur scene and seeing who can take the step up. So it's difficult because we're playing Brechin today. Brechin are reasonably close to Aberdeen. Their players that playing today are probably on the wages that are 10 of our players are on, I would think. That's how extreme it is when you're playing against the likes of Brechin. So yeah, we've had to just kind of think outside the box a little bit, and we've actually sort of dipped into the Orkney now.
But on the plus side, that means that Wick Academy has an identity.
Yeah, since I've been here, it's always been very much a local-based squad. And like you say, it has its advantages. We go on long bus journeys to away games, and the banter and the sort of feel-good factor and the togetherness that you build on the bus journeys. But
no senior club in Scotland has longer journeys than you do.
Not regular, no, not every second week. We're, our closest away game is 60 miles away, and after that you're looking at 100 plus miles for the next game. So
if you live up here, you know that you have to travel a long distance for anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's part and parcel of playing for Wick and part and parcel of living up here, I'm afraid.
There's no doubt that Brechin City are the big guns of this division. The largest budget and the largest crowds and the largest expectation to go up.
To be honest with you, most of the fans that we meet, the away fans, they're all rooting and tooting for Brechin. They want Brechin to stay in the league, not necessarily win it and be promoted. They want to stay in because we bring the biggest away support and they love it. It's money for them.
You have played in a number of different countries, lots of different leagues. How do you assess the strength of the Highland League?
Yeah, from my point of view, obviously I wasn't overly privy to it, but in terms of the calibre of player, there's a lot of good calibre of player in the league, and it probably does deserve to get a little more sort of recognition, especially even a club here, so is Brechin. It's a very, very big club to be in the Highland League, and then you've other big clubs in it, that Brora, Bucky, Banks of Dee. There's plenty of good quality teams, and listen, the one blessing from it as well, you get to see some nice parts of the world, which is nice. It's all relative. For what the level you're at, it's always going to be competitive, and every game we play, we know it's extremely competitive, and we can only control what we can control. And obviously from an objective point of view and from a club arena point of view, we have to be up there. There's no point in saying anything else.
So you don't fancy Wick's chances today?
I would say no. I would think we do well if we got a draw.
a tough game, but a shout out to your mini ultras. They made some real noise.
That was actually the first game. It's something you see, you know, up and down the country now, and it's good to have them there. They're so enthusiastic. They've made up their own chants, and they've got their drums, and they've got their flags, and yeah, it's good to see. I mean, that's what you need to do in local communities. You need to bring through the next generation.
And they
of
could be on
fans.
the pitch in 15
you never know.
years.
You never know.
You can't call yourself a proper ground hopper until you've made it north to Wick's incredible sloping pitch. Gary and his team will be delighted to see you. And if you include Gretna, you can tick off the first and last senior teams in Scotland. So what are you waiting for? Never far from a party in Gretna, and many of those parties have been ignited by the Green Wedding Band. Tonight, however, is their final performance. But before we go to the party, let's check in on the rock stars of Raydale Park.
Gretna Green, we started out as a band in around 2010, originated from Gretna, and tonight's our last gig.
It's been hundreds now, I would say.
Yeah, definitely hundreds.
We started playing Red Light Spells Danger by Billy Ocean because people kept asking for it all the time.
Yeah, every time people ask straight away. So what's so special about this? And we play it and the dance floor fills, and like, oh, yeah, there's something in it here.
Although if it was a Gretna gig, it was always Traffic by Stereophonics. That was
Yeah,
going to be
there was lots of shows for that. Yeah. Our job is to get the dance floor full. sometimes they're not the songs that we want to play, but we know the ones that work, so that's what we play.
It's lovely to see lots of family and friends here supporting us.
Well, the JMA Trust supports people who are most in need, so to be able to raise money for those people is really important to us, and I think it'll be a really worthwhile cause to raise some money for.
So the JMA Trust was set up in memory of my little brother John, who was lucky enough to have great friends in Gretna, and after John passed we set up our family charity, which they have been phenomenal at supporting, like you see tonight. It's the money that we raise through the JMA benefits lots of people in Dumfries and Galloway, especially lots of social work cases where they come to us with families and children who are in dire straits, and we're able to support them because of events like tonight.
It's going to be a great party environment tonight, and obviously raise a lot of money for a good cause.
Come on, get out your seats, come and join us. I live my life in the city, and there's no easy way out. It's easy but just too fast for me. Running through time and the sunshine, I gotta slow it right down. It's easy but just too fast for me. Those crackers are out for a while. The after tea gonna take a ride. Over time, so who can fight say, oh, hey, oh, ooh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Walk like an Egyptian. Hey! Across the floor, you got the moves, the top the thing, and the thing you know. All the school kids so sick of books, are like the punk on the metal band with the bosom rings, who walking like the gypsy. All the kids in the marketplace say, hey, oh, hey, oh, ooh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian.
Back on a different dance floor, it's the first round of the Scottish Cup, where the chairman dreams of a third round glamour tie with television cameras. The ideal draw for this particular round would have been at home to a junior side. And the least favourable draw? Well, probably away to Lowland League champions East Kilbride. So where am I? Welcome to East Kilbride.
Different approach for a cup game?
No, absolutely not. Same as usual.
It's 18 years since Gretna appeared in the Scottish Cup final. The wait goes on. Back in Gretna, the ladies have a Dumfries and Galloway derby with Newton Stewart.
And this is the first ever home league game for Gretna ladies, so quite a milestone for Sean and his team. And let me introduce you to the match ball sponsor of Gretna Ladies.
So I'm Josh from Denton Memorials. We're going to be providing the ball sponsor for the ladies team here at Gretna for the upcoming season. And I think it's safe to say that we're really excited to get going. And I grew up with Macy Reid, who plays centre back for the team. Spoke to my mum and dad who run the business as well, and we're just like, yeah, we'll do it. You know, obviously being a start-up team as well, we want to help as much as we can.
So tell me, what did you see from your team today? What did you learn?
We've got fight, passion and desire. The lassies just wanted to play and we just got on. Honestly, what a difference from a few months back.
Could you imagine a few months ago that you'd see a team coming back from 3-1 down?
No, this has been, the progression has been amazing. So proud of them, what they've achieved today. That was amazing. I felt everybody would be buzzing with that. We knew coming in here that they were a new side. They've actually been together longer than us, and so they played together and stuff. So the fact that we were like 3-1 down and managed to come back and get the draw, we're absolutely buzzing.
It was an absolute team game. Everyone put a shift in as well, and I'd say we deserved the outcome anyway.
Sometimes teams gone through a few years before they can pick up a point,
100%.
and we managed it the first game.
After an action-packed afternoon, I'll leave you with one more of Gretna's rising stars.
I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Thank you.
Temperatures are plummeting and the festive season is upon us. We've also reached the halfway point of the Lowland League season. So how are Gretna faring? Well, sitting on 16 points, that's a whole 4 points more than in the entirety of last season. So that is a massive improvement. But the job is not yet done. No sides have been cut adrift this year. Today the Braves are in town, and you have to be brave or mad to play in this weather because Storm Dara is blowing through Raydale Park.
In the end, a valuable point from a game that became very heated and spicy. Talking of which...
How many mince pies do you make during December?
Maybe like 500 a day.
500?
Sometimes less, sometimes more.
And all different styles?
Yeah, we do these ones which are just the normal pastry, and then we do Christmas ones which have a star on.
What's your other big Christmas seller in December?
Probably Christmas cake. Fruit cake. Yeah.
What time do you start baking in the morning?
We start from about 9 o'clock last night and bake all the way through the day. They're still baking just now, and it is 9:30. Yeah.
You don't get much sleep?
No, I do, but not everyone else.
My thanks to Cameron and Kelsey at Gretna Bakery. So, with Santa's mince pies sorted, it's time to wrap up and head back to Raydale Park.
Gretna's second home game in 4 days is a big one. Cumbernauld Colts, the visitors, are currently bottom of the league and fresh from a 6-0 home defeat on Saturday. So Gretna are strong favourites to take 3 points tonight. Can they deliver?
Poor first half. Couple of home truths to a few of the boys at half time. It's probably the first half this year where we felt like we never really went through the gears. But then I also had to give the boys a bit of credit because we didn't really get out the starting blocks and we were still in the game. You know, we could easily have been out of the game. So poor first half. Second half I thought we started it really well. Thought Robbie Iverson was a real driving force in the middle in the second half, having had a bit of a shaky first half. And then obviously the sending off helps us greatly. The second sending off's like a golden ticket, isn't it? You know, we're delighted at that point. And then I think the key point was to get the goal straight after that. Sam Atkinson with another assist. Dean deserves his goal. Last couple of games he's worked really hard and he's done a lot of good in the game. But those attackers are judged by goals, so I think he was getting a bit frustrated that he hadn't found the net. So great finish for Dean. and then we tried to see the game out. We could have done with killing it off. The last 10 minutes were a bit nervy, but really important, puts a bit of daylight between us and the bottom end of the league, which is really, really important for us. And if somebody told us at the start of the week we would have took 4 points from Caledonian Braves at home and then Cumbernauld at home, we'd have probably took that.
Halfway through the season, what's your assessment, Nicky?
I think we've got to be pleased with where we are. Obviously, comparison to last season's like night and day. I think we could probably have a few more points. I think a few harsh decisions, one being the game we've just watched. But no, I think we've got to be pleased. Obviously the league's tightening up a wee bit at the bottom, but I think fingers crossed, couple more wins on the board and we can look up instead of down.
So the lights are
the lights are off.
When you take a step back, I think the guys are delighted that we got the amount of points we did in the first half of the season, because of following on obviously from last year. We'd surpassed the whole points total for the season, but also I think the underlying feeling was there was 3 or 4 games that we probably left points out there. So we probably, the target for the second half is to make sure that we go out and make more points than we did in that first half of the season. Helps that we've now got Caledonian Braves out the road, we've got Celtic B out the road, and we've got East Kilbride out the road, so we've got no one in the top 3 to play now. So hopefully these games that are coming up between now and the end of the season are games that we should get more points in.
Okay, so we've had the mince pies, we've had the party, and it's now on to the final league game before Christmas, the Border Derby at Galashiels. Now, you won't find many grounds in Scottish football that can boast a stand that has won architectural prizes. Galashiels is the home of a real treasure. No, not this stand, that one.
Architect Peter Womersley's iconic stand was built in 1963. Now a Category A listed building, it's an example of late modernist formalism in Scotland. It's been described as a masterwork of geometry and proportion. It's also been described as a very cold place to watch football when the wind is blowing through the valley, as it is today. Now, there is a backstory to this tie. It was postponed from the beginning of December, but by the time it was rescheduled to the 21st of December, a number of the first team regulars were already off to Lapland. So Vinnie has called on a significant number of the under-20s squad. Today is another Gretna underdog story.
You got your goal. Kevin, what's that performance going to mean to the team going into Christmas?
It means Monday off training as a wee reward. It also puts some distance between us and the bottom, which is always pleasing, so we're not looking over our shoulder. And also, you know, great result today, and 16-year-old lad for the under-17s gone for 75 minutes. Just, you know, that's what everybody at the club wants to see happening. Local lads coming through the academy and getting into the first team, and he goes in there for 70 minutes, and I thought it was fantastic. So that was just a brilliant day for him.
So let's just savour that Christmas League table. 11th position for the pre-season relegation favourites. Vinnie will enjoy his Christmas pudding. And now, some festive words from the chaplain.
I'd just like to wish everyone associated with the football club and in the area a very happy Christmas and New Year. And just to encourage everyone, while we enjoy all the food, the festivities and the parties and the presents and whatever else, just to think about the reason behind the season and to maybe put aside the tinsel and think about the truth as well. We just celebrate the Saviour's birth. So we're looking ahead to a new year, hopefully great things for the club, onwards and upwards.